Oh, it looks like they also have a photograph, but instead they have King Gambit and Whimsicott, where we have Dusclops and Ursaluna. So we're both going a different direction with that. I think with that, I don't necessarily want to set up Trick Room. I remember last time I let King Gambit go off a little bit too much, so I kind of want to be mindful of that and make sure that, like, hey, King Gambit doesn't go off as much. I think the way that they could threaten that would be Primarina King Gambit and Cineroar King Gambit. Okay, here's how I'm going to play it. I'm going to put in Rillaboom, I'm going to put in Ursaluna, I'm going to put in Farigiraf, and I'm going to put in Primarina. The intent behind this is if they leave Incineroar for King Gambit, I am going to Earth Power, and I'm going to switch out Rillaboom for Farigiraf. That way, if they do try to set up Swords Dance, then I at least I do a considerable amount. Maybe I even get the KO. If they don't set up Swords Dance, Incineroar might use Parting Shot. It's the one problem, but we'll work through it. We'll figure it out. Alright, Day Bowling. That's a cool picture, by the way. Alright, Day Bowling. What you got for us? Alright, we're going Rillaboom Farigiraf. Okay, so they're going to go that route. We got our own Rillaboom and Ursaluna. Alright, so Ursaluna does not... I appreciate being out here right at this moment. I didn't bring my own Incineroar, did I? No. Okay. I do feel like U-turn into Rillaboom seems solid. And I'll protect for now. Yeah, great call. Great observation, Apollo. Yeah, that's right. My Rillaboom is faster thanks to... we saw that it either won the speed tie or it's faster thanks to us seeing the... Okay, they didn't anticipate an Incineroar, and that's why I didn't want to immediately go for it. So we are going to get this Protect off. But yeah, you're right. That's a great call-out of that my Rillaboom actually was faster thanks to our Grassy Terrain setting up first, or we want a speed tie. So one of the two. Good observation. Important to recognize that. I think with that, I do feel comfortable going into Primarina. I don't anticipate them to immediately hit me with a Grass-type move. And then Wood Hammer. Oh, Rillaboom stays in. Oh, that's not fun. Okay. I was expecting Trick. Okay, with that, I do want to keep Primarina safe. So I do feel like Farigiraf switching out there would be solid. I will Blood Moon into Rillaboom to knock it out now. Then the following turn, Protect, Trick Room. And then go for Earth Power and things like that. Yeah. I did not anticipate Woodhammer immediately into Ursaluna, yeah. Because, yeah, if it was for a graph afterwards, then I would feel a little bit more confident in saying, like, okay, I can double up into King Gambit. But this one, I'm playing a little bit risky here. I think, because King Gambit could easily also kowtow Cleave, and, yeah, this is not like a bad response or anything. It's just more of like, you know, Ursaluna's going to be taking a lot. Okay, we good with that. That's totally fine here. Yeah, I take a lot of damage with that, unfortunately. And we set up Swords Dance, right? Okay. And we also confirmed that King Gambit is faster than Blood Moon. It's a little bit tough. Okay, we crit on the Rillaboom, but that doesn't really make much of a difference here. And they also their own Primarina. Okay, this has been a fun game so far. Okay, I benefit most from Trick Room. it makes sense for Ursaluna to protect, and then they to double up into Farigiraf, right? I'm gonna go ahead and fire off a Trick Room here. I could do that. Yeah, because what could happen is I will fire off a Trick Room, and I'll protect this turn, expecting something like a, yeah. I mean, it kind of feels obvious that this would happen. Because if I'm King Gambit, what am I going to do? I'm going to target the Farigiraf slot. Now, if for some reason King Gambit decided to go after Farigiraf, expecting the obvious play that I made, or go after Blood Moon, then I think we're going to be in a solid spot. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you do this? But what I'm going to do next turn is, now that I have pressure for Fake Out, I'm going to Fake Out into Earth Power this next turn. The problem is now King Gambit feels like it can Terra. So I think one of the challenges here is, do I predict that King Gambit Terras and goes for Blood Moon, or do I predict that King Gambit doesn't Terra and go for Earth Power, right? I feel like in this case, I do have to fire off a pretty strong Hail Mary, so I'm down for the Blood Moon here. Wait, no, we don't know yet. But yeah, this is a good way to, yeah. Obviously, I should have thought through this. And King Gambit decides not to Terra. Cleave into Ursaluna. Yeah, and that's a one-hit KO. Yeah. Still possible-ish. We would have to Woodhammer, and we would have to get a pretty strong Moonblast that gets a KO here. If King Gambit tears into something, then that actually would open something up for us. Like Terra Dragon, for instance, would be enough. Or, like, even... It could be Terra Dragon. I think that if King Gambit's worried about high horsepower, because I haven't revealed anything. Yeah. It's game, set, and match. King Gambit can just, yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, I had a tunnel... I felt pressure to tunnel vision into King Gambit, and now they can just set up Trick Room, and who cares? Yeah. So... Yeah, Swords Dance King Gambit, man, is pretty strong. And I think that Dusclops, I feel like it's a slot that I don't use as often. It could be a Pokemon that you could potentially substitute to make it where that doesn't hit you as hard. Yeah, at this point, why would King Gambit even Terra? You're going to cleave into Rillaboom, sure. I have 15 HP left. I get off the Moonblast. Oh, here you go. Merry Christmas. Excuse me. And Farigiraf just set some nasty plots, so there isn't really much we can do here. One way that we could... I don't know if that would actually help. I mean, I'll Hyper Voice, but, like, again... You probably have Kowtow Cleave, Sucker Punch... Right, so, yeah, I resist it. 47 damage, right? Because it's that +4. And you can just hit me with Psychic. I mean, so. Yeah, unfortunate there. I think that King Gambit, Swords Dance King Gambit's really strong. Yeah, just Terra Blast. Probably doesn't have Psychic, like Terra Blast and, Nasty Plot, Trick Room, Terra Blast. Maybe Helping Hand or some other move. So, yeah, great job from my opponent. I think King Gambit's definitely a good call in this matchup. Yeah, because King Gambit probably just has Protect, Swords Dance, Kowtow Cleave, and Sucker Punch, and then a defensive Terra if it needed it. But I think in that battle, it's like, well, you don't have high horsepower. And if I did have high horsepower, that'd be a whole different story. But because we didn't, there's not really any way we could have climbed back from that game.